The September 11 attacks, which took place in 2001, are recorded as one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in world history. Following these events, numerous conspiracy theories began to emerge. One of the most widespread claims is that the attacks were not carried out solely by al-Qaeda terrorists, but that the US government or other powerful groups were somehow involved. These theories often argue that the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were intentionally brought down through a controlled demolition. Some people claim that the steel structure of the towers could not have collapsed from ordinary fires alone, and therefore explosives must have been used. There are also claims that the attack on the Pentagon occurred differently than officially reported, with some even suggesting that no airplane struck the building at all. Conspiracy theorists argue that these events were used to justify US policies in the Middle East and to influence public opinion. Another common claim is that the government had prior knowledge of the attacks or deliberately failed to prevent them. However, most of these theories have been challenged by independent investigations and official reports. Experts have concluded that the collapse of the towers resulted from fire and severe structural damage, that the attacks were organized by al-Qaeda, and that there is no evidence that the US government was involved in such a plan. Area 51. Area 51 is known as a highly secretive military facility located in the Nevada desert of the United States, whose existence was not officially acknowledged for many years. While it has been officially described as a site for testing advanced aircraft and defense technologies, the most famous conspiracy theory surrounding the area claims that extraterrestrial beings and alien spacecraft are being hidden there. This theory traces its origins to the alleged UFO crash in Roswell in 1947. According to the claims, debris recovered from the crash site, and even the bodies of deceased aliens were transported to Area 51. It is said that secret experiments were conducted there. Conspiracy theorists believe that the US government has attempted to reverse engineer this technology and has deliberately concealed information about extraterrestrials from the public. Because the facility's existence was officially denied for many years, its mystery only deepened and helped fuel the spread of these theories. Strict government control over access to the area, restrictions on outside observation, and the lack of public information have all contributed to the growth of speculation. To this day, no concrete evidence has been presented to confirm these claims. Nevertheless, Area 51 continues to hold a significant place in popular culture and remains one of the most famous locations associated with alien-related conspiracy theories. Illuminati and the New World Order. Historically, the Illuminati is known as a secret society founded during the Age of Enlightenment in the 18th century in Bavaria, which is now part of Germany. Today, however, the term is most commonly used to describe a supposed secret elite group that controls political, economic, and cultural power around the world. According to this conspiracy theory, the Illuminati's ultimate goal is to eliminate all nations and establish a single global government, often referred to as the New World Order. The theory claims that this hidden elite manipulates society, the media, the economy, and politics in order to maintain control over the population. Supporters of the theory argue that major economic crises, wars, and political unrest around the world are all part of this larger plan. Another key element of the theory is the belief that Illuminati symbols and signs are secretly embedded in movies, music, and popular culture. Symbols such as the triangle and the all-seeing eye are frequently highlighted, with believers claiming they contain hidden messages. According to this theory, many influential leaders, celebrities, and business figures are connected to the Illuminati and are carrying out the organization's plans on the world stage. However, there is no conclusive evidence proving either the existence of such an organization or the existence of a global plan of this nature. The assassination of John F. Kennedy. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas in 1963. According to the official account, Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and carried out the shooting. However, numerous conspiracy theories have emerged surrounding the assassination. Many of these theories argue that Oswald was not the sole perpetrator, and that the assassination was organized by elements within the government or by other powerful groups. Some claims suggest the involvement of organizations or actors such as the CIA, organized crime groups, the Cuban government, or the Soviet Union. Conspiracy theorists maintain that the assassination was planned for political purposes and that the true individuals responsible were never identified. Another major point of controversy involves criticism of the Warren Commission's official report, with some claiming that important evidence was ignored or misrepresented. This has fueled suspicions of a cover-up behind the assassination. Several independent investigations and documentaries have pointed to inconsistencies in certain details of the case. Nevertheless, the official position remains that the assassination was carried out by Lee Harvey Oswald, the first manned moon landing. In 1969, the United States announced that it had successfully completed the first manned landing on the moon through the Apollo 11 mission. However, one of the most famous conspiracy theories challenges this historic achievement. According to the theory, the moon landing was staged, and NASA filmed the footage in a studio environment. Supporters of the claim argue that the lighting and shadows on the lunar surface, the movement of the flag, and the absence of visible stars in photographs do not match what they believe conditions in space should look like. Some theorists have even claimed that famous film director Stanley Kubrick helped produce the footage. Conspiracy theorists argue that during the Cold War, the United States resorted to this deception in order to win the space race against the Soviet Union. In doing so, they claim, the country was able to demonstrate technological superiority and boost public morale. Scientists and experts, however, have refuted these claims from multiple perspectives. There are hundreds of kilograms of moon rocks, hundreds of hours of recordings, and thousands of witness accounts supporting the authenticity of the Apollo missions. In addition, other countries, including the Soviet Union, confirmed that the moon landing took place. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the Atlantic Ocean located between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the years, it has become famous for claims that ships and aircraft have mysteriously disappeared within its boundaries. According to conspiracy theories, these disappearances are caused not by natural factors, but by unknown forces or extraterrestrial beings. Some theories suggest that electromagnetic anomalies exist within the Bermuda Triangle, causing navigation systems to malfunction. Others claim that underground bases or even time portals exist in the area. Some versions of the theory go even further, suggesting that aliens have established a secret base there. Scientists have explained that most reported disappearances can be attributed to natural causes such as weather conditions, human error, and technical failures. Furthermore, there is insufficient evidence showing that the Bermuda Triangle has a significantly higher danger rate than other heavily traveled regions of the ocean. Chemtrails. Chemtrails are the subject of a conspiracy theory claiming that the white streaks left behind by aircraft are not ordinary condensation trails formed from water vapor and ice crystals. Supporters of the theory argue that these trails contain chemical or biological substances deliberately released to affect human health, influence weather patterns, or even enable mind control. According to these claims, governments or secret organizations use these substances to control populations, spread illnesses, or manipulate the climate. Some versions of the theory suggest that the program is intended to combat global warming but causes harm to people in the process. Scientifically, however, these trails are understood to be normal condensation trails created when water vapor from aircraft exhaust freezes in the cold atmosphere. Atmospheric scientists and aviation experts have stated that there is no evidence supporting chemtrail claims, and that these trails are entirely natural. Simulation theory. Simulation theory is the idea that the universe we live in is not actually real, but rather an incredibly sophisticated computer simulation created by an advanced civilization. The concept gained significant attention in academic circles following a paper published in 2003 by philosopher Nick Bostrom. Bostrom suggested that a highly advanced future civilization might create artificial environments capable of simulating the lives of their ancestors. According to some conspiracy theorists, the fact that we are living inside such a simulation is being deliberately hidden from us. Supporters of the theory argue that certain physical constants in the universe resemble coded structures, and that the uncertainties found in quantum physics resemble the behavior of a software system. They also suggest that difficult-to-explain experiences, such as déjà vu, may be glitches or repeated sequences within the simulation. Some versions of the theory claim that dreams are portals to deeper layers of the simulation. Others suggest that higher intelligence controlling the simulation are monitoring our development and occasionally intervening when necessary. While the theory has not been supported by definitive scientific evidence, advances in quantum physics, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality technologies have continued to increase interest in the possibility of a simulated universe. I will continue making similar videos. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so through the Join button. Also, be sure to share your ideas for the next video in the comments section.